Right, let's right, let's carry on with our quadratic equations. But now things are going to get exciting, right? Because now they're kind of these miscellaneous, and then miscellaneous means doesn't fit into a nice box anymore. And let's see what we can do. So we got, I think there's a couple of examples, perhaps 3. Example 1. Question seems simple enough. Pause, breathe. That was probably more for me than you. Find a quadratic equation with the following roots: -5 and 1. Do you have some ideas at this stage? So it's like we're given the answers now, and we need to work backwards, right? That's the kind of feeling I get for this. So we've got those roots, -5 and 1. So let's write that down. X equals -5 or x equals 1. Now, the step we had before that was normally something like something factorized equals 0. How's this so far? Okay, so x. So we had x. Now, for the 1, that is like x minus 1. So minus the 1 gave us that 1. So here we need to go minus 5 to give us that -5. Okay. And then really it's like a backwards thing, right? So now, but we had something before as like x squared what equals 0. Like that's the quadratic equation, not in that format. Okay, well, that's fine. X times x gives us the x squared. X times -1 gives us -x. Am I going to run out of colors? Probably. Plus 5 times x gives us plus 5x. And what do we end up with? 5 times -1 gives us what? Oof, gives us -5. Feeling good today. Cool. So, well, we've got, come on, there must be, let's go, x squared minus x plus 5x plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. Done. Quadratic. There are 2 solutions. We could check them if we wanted to. I feel particularly inclined to check it. 1 squared. Yeah. We can do that. Okay, next one. If 5 is one of the roots of x squared plus mx plus 15 equals 0, determine the value of m and the other root. Whoa. Let's just breathe and read through that again. Okay, so 5's one of the roots. Okay, so we know that means that from the previous one of the roots, like x equals 5. Let's keep these pictures in mind. They're going to be useful for later. So if we had this happy parabola and 5 is one of these roots, I don't know if it's going to be that one or that one. We need to work the other root out. We might not need our picture, but it's just kind of there in case. X equals 5, determine the value on the other root. Okay, but if x equals 5, how can we use that information in this equation over here? So x equals 5, and that equation is true. How's that going to help us? Well, what it means is that if we substitute 5 into that, the equation should be true. Because x equals 5 means this thing should work out, and we should get 0. So let's put it in. 5 squared plus m times 5 plus 15 equals 0. Okay. So 25 plus 5m plus 15 equals 0. Right, and we can solve. And what do you get for m? Okay, well, you go 25 plus 15 is 40. 5m equals -40 divided by 5 on both sides. M equals -8. Does that work? I feel like I did something wrong there. Yeah, that seems to be vaguely reasonable. Okay, so m equals -8. But what are we trying to work out? The value of m and the other root. Okay, so we're not quite there. We found out m. How is that going to help us find the other root? Okay, well, I'm going to do it over here and say, well, if m is -8, let's put that back into our equation. So x, maybe we can change our colors here, right? X squared, what's the equation? Plus m5 plus mx, so plus mx plus 15 equals 0. Okay, cool. There's our quadratic, our parabola maybe. And we need to find out what the other root is. Okay, well, how are we going to do that? It could be a range of answers there. Are you going to factorize? Are you going to use the quadratic formula? I reckon we could factorize this one. I always feel like if you can factorize, factorize. If you're sitting there for a while and going, oh, I'm struggling with the factorization, use the quadratic formula. But we know that one of the solutions is 5, so we know this part must be negative 5. Because minus one of the solutions, right? That's going to give us our x equals 5 part. And this part's going to give us the other root. So if we know that's negative 5, what must this part be? Well, it must be negative 3, because negative 5 times negative 3 gives us 15. And we can check. Minus 5x minus 3x gives us minus 8x. Okay, so x equals 3. Cool. So as it turns out, our two solutions were 3 and 5. And like as I said, in the previous exercise, you had to draw the parabola. If it looks like you can draw a quick sketch of the parabola, go for it. It's really, really going to help in this section just to have that other way of visualizing it, and when we get to parabolas later. Okay, well, I feel like we did everything on that question. Is that it? And look, that was a shorter, sweeter one, wasn't it? I know yesterday's was a bit longer. So let me move my big head out the way, or move the writing above it, and have exercise 2.9 on page 53. Let's go for number 1, A, B, 2, and 6. The question is, are you going to enjoy it? Oh, come on. Okay, cool. Well, enjoy it regardless. Enjoy it, have fun, and see you online later.